How is publishing your second book different from publishing your first? Hi folks, I'm Cathy Hannabach with Ideas on Fire, and I'm here to talk with you today about how to find the right publisher for your second scholarly book. Almost all book publishing advice focuses on your first book, and there are some good reasons for this. First books are often tenure books, and so the stakes for them are really high. But what about the one after that? What about your second book? Second books are some of my favorite client projects to work on at Ideas on Fire because by the time you get to your second book, you've often shed some of the anxiety of tenure and you often feel freer to write the book that you really want to write. So what do you do to find the right publisher for that second project? Here are 3 things to consider. Tip number 1, think beyond your first publisher. Assuming that you had a good relationship with them, and I hope that you did, the press that guided you through the arduous and emotionally intense process of getting your first book out into the world probably deserves your undying gratitude. And by all means, talk them up to everyone and anyone who will listen and keep recommending them. But that doesn't inherently mean that they're the best fit for your second project. Second books often depart substantially from first books, and this is normal, this is okay, and this does differ by field. Second books often give you an opportunity to change up your writing style or adopt a slightly different take on things, to try out new methodologies, to even switch fields dramatically or less dramatically. And because of that, because publishers tend to cultivate specific audiences in specific fields, the publisher that was the right fit for your first book might not inherently be the best publisher for your second book. This is your opportunity to find the publishers that have cultivated the audiences that you're seeking now. Tip number 2, keep first look contracts in mind. Some academic presses, just like some trade presses, include first look clauses in their contracts. This means that they have the exclusive right to consider publishing your second book. Now, it's important to keep in mind that this is not a guarantee that they will publish your second book, just that they get first shot at deciding whether or not they want to. So check your first book contract and see if you have one of these and are bound by it. If you are, you'll need to pitch your second book to that first press. If they think it's a good fit for them, that can be fantastic because you've already worked with them and you can just continue that relationship. All cool. But if you do have one of those clauses and you don't think that your second book is a great fit for your first publisher, talk honestly with your acquisitions editor about that. Explain how your second book project is different and how it might not be a great fit for that press's audiences. Chances are your editor will appreciate your honesty. And they might agree with you, in which case they're happy to pass on it and you can publish it with somebody else. Or they might explain why your second book project is in fact a good fit for their audiences, or perhaps a different segment of the audience than you originally reached with your first book. Acquisitions editors are trained to have keen eyes for fit, and they're absolutely your friends in this because they genuinely want to publish books they know will succeed. So being upfront and honest with them with regards to your second book means that they're on your side in the process. My third and final tip is to get bold with your goals for your second book. Because your second book is not usually your tenure book, there are some exceptions to this, but not usually, you have more freedom to play. You're no longer judged by the stern eye of a tenure committee or a dissertation committee before that if it originally started out as a dissertation. So you can get more creative. Want to include more stories or rich description? Go for it. Curious about an unconventional structure? Try it out. See what works. Want to write a book that people beyond the academy would actually find interesting and want to buy? Here's your chance. This creativity and boldness should also extend to your publisher. Now, this doesn't inherently mean publishing with a trade press, although that might be a consideration that might be useful for you. A lot of academic presses, particularly recently, have gotten very creative with the types of projects that they take on. Here's your chance to find one that fits your current goals and audiences. So to recap, when choosing a press for your second book, think beyond your first publisher, keep first look contracts in mind, and be bold and creative with your goals. For more help with academic publishing, check out Ideas on Fire's editing and indexing services, as well as our extensive free resource library on our website. See you next time.